Hi friends, welcome back. Today we are going to solve Codeforces problem woodcutters. Before we start looking into the problem details, some examples related to this problem and the Java solution for this problem, I want to mention that my channel is dedicated to help people who are preparing for their Java J2 interviews and for their coding interviews. You will find a lot of helpful videos on my channel that can help you in your Java interview preparation and in your coding interview preparation. There are over 250 solved different varieties of coding questions which were previously asked by big tech companies like Google, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Yahoo, Microsoft, and many others. And those are selective problems in the sense that they constitute very important coding questions varieties such as BFS, DFS, matrix problems, graph problems, binary search tree related coding questions, as well as dynamic programming related coding problems. There are also problems related to linked list, strings, as well as optimization problems that can be solved using priority queues are also explained with whiteboarding session, examples, and Java code. So this channel can definitely help you in your job interview preparation. So please subscribe to the channel. So let's look into the woodcutters problem. So let's just start from here because this is where the problem statement actually starts. So there are n trees located along the road at points with coordinates x1, x2, xn. Each tree has its height hi. Woodcutters can cut down a tree and fell it to the left or right. After that, it occupies one of the segments xi minus hi xi, which means that it is falling on the left side, right? So it will the x coordinate will become xi minus hi, right, if it is falling on the x side. Otherwise the like the left side, right, this is the left side. Otherwise the right side will become xi plus hi, right, means it is falling on the right side, right? So that much segment it will occupy basically. The tree is not cut down, occupies a single point with coordinate xi. Woodcutters can fell a tree if the segment to be occupied by the fallen tree doesn't contain any occupied point. This is very important, right? So they should cut down the tree and fall it in such a way that the tree does not contain, like it should can fell down a tree, right, to be occupied by fallen tree does not contain any occupied point. So if there is any occupied point, like for example if a tree is standing at that point or a tree is already fallen at that point, then we cannot fall a tree again there basically, right? So that's what it is saying. The woodcutters want to process as many trees as possible, so Susie wonders what is the maximum number of trees to fell. So we have to find out the maximum number of trees that the woodcutters can fell basically, right? So let's take a look at what input is given to us. So n is given to us, which is number of trees. So let's look at this example. So 5 is number of trees that is given to us, right? And next 5 lines will contain pairs xi and hi, which is the position of the tree and the height of the tree, right? So this, for example, this 1 2 basically means that there is a tree at position 1 and its height is 2, right? Then next one, which means that there is a tree at position 2 and its height is 1, right? And then in the output we have to find out maximum number of trees that we can cut down, right? So let's take this example on the whiteboard so I can explain you better here. So this is the same example that I just took it, and this is the pictorial representation that you can see here, how the trees are standing here, right? So these are the trees. So at the position 1 the tree is there with height 2, then at 2 its height is 1, at 5 its height is 10, at 10 its height is 9, and at 19 the height is 1. So this is all is given to us. So these are 5 trees and we have to find out what is the maximum number of trees we can fall, right? So let's first solve this problem visually, right, and then we will develop our algorithm to solve this problem. So one thing you might have noticed is uh, this for this last tree, right? Last tree, this last tree we can always fall down on the right side, right, because there is no right side tree. So this one always we can fall down on the right side irrespective of what happens here, right? So that one is for sure is there. And what we will do, like how we will solve this problem, let's say, right? So if we are looking at the tree at position 1, this position we cannot fall this tree onto this side, right? Because it will occupy two positions, so it will go until 3, right? If we are following this tree, it will go until 3, right? So it means that we cannot fall this down, right? Because the tree is already present, one tree at location 2, right? So we cannot fall this tree on the right side, correct? So we have only one choice for this tree, that we will fall this tree on the left side, right? Because there is nothing on the left side. So for example, if we fall it on the left side, it will fall until -1, right? So this 1 to -1 segment will be occupied after this tree is failed, right? For example, the tree will be failed like this. So it will occupy 1 to -1 segment. Then we can take a look at this second tree. If we are following this second tree on the left side, right, it will hit 1 basically. Its height is 1, right? So it will, after falling, it will touch this tree basically, right? So this is not acceptable because there is some tree already present at this point. So only choice for us to fall this tree is on the right side, right? We can fall this tree here on the right side and it will occupy 2 to 3 segment, which is fine, right? So now, right now, our count is now 2, right? We already have seen 2 trees that we can fall. The first tree, this at position 1, we will fall on the left side. This is left side, and this position 2 tree we can fall on the right side, right? Then we will go here at number 5. This tree has a length like height 10, right? So we cannot fall this tree on the left side. Why? Because if we are falling this tree on the left side, it will go from 5 to -5, right? So there are other trees already present here, so we cannot go to left. If we are trying to fall this tree on the right side, it will occupy again a segment from 5 to 15, right? 5 plus 10 is 15. So now there is already a tree present at 10, so we cannot fall this left, we cannot fall this right. So we cannot fall this tree basically. Now we will take a look at this tree, right? Number 10. This tree height is 9. So if we are trying to fall this tree on the left side, it will go from 10 to 1, right? 10 to 1 it will go because the height is 9. But now there are other trees also on the way, right? So we cannot fall it on the left side. Now let's look into the if we can fall it on the right side, right? So if we are falling it on the right side, it will become 10 plus 9, which is 19. But there is already a tree present at location 19, so it will touch that tree, right, after falling, which means that we cannot fall this tree. So we cannot fall these two trees basically, right? So as I already mentioned you, the last tree we can always fall, right? Irrespective of what trees are there here, right? Why? Because we can always fall this tree on the right side, right? There is nothing on the right side. So even if it is very high tree, still we can fall it on the right side. So this is +1, so total is 3. 3 are the trees that we can fall basically, right? So let's take a look. So output, you will see 3 trees, right? As I mentioned you here, as we walk through the example, these are the 3 trees we can fall. So we solved this problem visually. So now let's develop an algorithm how we can solve this problem using a computer program programmatically, right? So let's just remove all this coloring that we have done so we can reuse this again. So let me just remove all this coloring, right? So this is our original trees, right? So what we will do is we will go through all these input trees that's given to us, right? So these are the input trees that are given to us, and what we will do is we will create a tree pair. So tree pair is one helper class which is a Java bean, right? It has only two fields, position and height, and this will be implementing comparable interface. So let me show you the tree pair class. So this is the tree pair class, and this is implementing comparable interface, which means that we have to implement the compare to method, right? And why we are doing the comparable? Because we want to sort the tree pairs, right? So whenever we want a sorting, then we have to implement comparable interface of Java, right? So there are only two fields here because every tree has a position where it is located and it has its height. So we will capture this. So this is the encapsulation we will be using to capture this input that's given to us. We will create tree pairs, right? And the compare to will be using the position to sort for sorting, right? It will use position when it is sorting. And this toString method I just implemented because I wanted to show you stack trace basically of how the tree pairs will look like after the sorting is done, right? So for that reason I just implemented the toString method. So let's go back to our whiteboard. So we will go through one by one and we will create the tree pairs, right? Like position 1, height 2, right? As you can see, position 1, height 2, position 2, height 1, right? 2, 1. So like this 19, 1. Last one is 19, 1. So these are all the tree pairs we have created from the input. And this may not be necessarily sorted, right? In this case, this is a sorted input, but if it is not sorted input, we have to always make sure that we will sort all our tree pairs, and the tree pairs we are going to be sorting by using position. So you will see all are sorted using position, right? So I'll just highlight for you so it's easy for your understanding. So this is how, right? So it's sorted in ascending order, 1 2 5 10 19, right? Because this sorting is very important to solve this problem, because this assures that we are going to find the maximum number of trees that we can cut basically, right? So this sorting is very critical. So these tree pairs must be sorted after we have created it, right? So first, uh, so yeah, so now we already have the tree pair sorting is done. So after that what we will do is, so this part I'll show you first and then we'll go to the second step. So first thing is, these are the input that's given to us, right? So n is equal to 5. I created a count and last position variable, and these are the inputs, right? This is the inputs that's given to us. So first we just iterated through the input and we just created the tree pair array, and we are just sorting the array here, right? We are just sorting the array here. So this is where we are sorting it, and this is just for the printing purpose. I'll remove it after I show it to you. So let's go to the second part. After sorting is done, what we will do is we will go through each of these pairs one by one now. So we are at this pair. Then what we will do is we will check if we are trying to fall it on the left side, can it be done? We will check, right? So yes, there is no tree, so we can fall it on the left side, right? So first we will create one last position variable. It's assigned as integer dot mean value. So whenever like we are falling on the left side, we will calculate the last position, right? So position will be 1 minus 2, right? So 1 minus 2 is minus 1. So last position will be minus 1 in that case, right? So we will check it on the left side, nothing is there, so we can fall this tree on the left. We will maintain one count to 0, so we'll just increment a count to 1 here, right? After that we will go to the, so last position is the last position means the tree position, the maximum position where the tree is occupied, right? This segment. So for example, what I mean to say is, this is the segment after falling, right? So this is 1, then this is minus 1, right? Because the total length is 2, right? So this is minus 1 basically, correct? So total length is 2, right? So the segment is minus 1 to 1. So the maximum value is the last position that we have already after falling, right? So we will update last position to 1 after that, and we will update our count to 1, right? The number of trees we could fall. Now we are at this second one, right? Again we will try to check if we can fall this tree on the left side. And how we will check it? So we will check 2 minus 1. So height is 1, right? So 2 minus 1 is 1. So is it less than, like, is last position is less than 1? No, right? Last position is not less than 1. So it means that it will touch this boundary. So we will not be able to fall that tree on the left side. So we will now try on the right side. So now as you can see, 2 plus 1, it is equal to 3. So 3 is, means last position is 1, and last position is 1, which is less than 3, correct? So which means that we can fall this tree, right, on the right side. And we will also, at the same time, we will also check that this 3 is should be less than this 5, right? 3 should be less than the 5, because if next tree position is 3, then we cannot fall that on the right side, right? So we will check that also, right? So next position is so last position will be updated. So let me show you the code snippet for that. So first thing is when we are on the, so these are the all the tree pairs, right, 0 to n. So when we are at the end of the last tree pair, as I showed you here, we can always fall this tree basically, right? We can always fall. So we have to always do +1 here for that tree. Otherwise, we are trying to fall the tree on the left side, right? There are two possibilities for us. So we will try to fall the tree on the left side, which means that we will take the position and we will subtract its height, right? And if it is greater than the last position, right? So it should be greater than the last position, then we can fall it on the left side. So this logic, let me explain you this logic. So last position, uh, for example, let's consider, just for the explanation purpose, I am just let's just consider for the explanation only. Let's say for example there is a tree and this tree is at location 3 and its height is 1, for example, right? Then let's say this tree is not there, right, at that time. Let's say just after 1 the tree is at 3. So last position is 1, as we already know, right? Last position is 1 here after we fall this tree. So now what we are doing is, we are taking the position of the tree and we are subtracting height. So position is 3 and height is 1. So 3 minus 1 is 2, and this 2 is greater than the last position, right? 2 is greater than the last position, correct? Last position, which means that if we are falling it on the left side, it is not touching the this point basically, right? That's what it is checking here. So we can fall it on the left side. That's what we are doing. If this is the case, right? In that case, we will increment the count because we are able to fall on the left side, and we will update the last position will be the where tree is standing, right? Where the tree is standing at 3, so last position will be updated to 3, correct? Where the tree is standing, that's where the, because the segment after falling will be from 3 to 2 to 3 basically, right? So last position will be 3 in that case. So we have seen the, let me revert it back now. So this is our original example, right? So this one we cannot fall it on the left side, so we will try to fall it on the right side, right? So on the right side what we will do, let's take a look here. So in this case left side is not possible in our this case of 2, right? Because if we are falling it on the 2, it will touch 1, which is the last position. So we have to fall on the right side. So when we are falling it on the right side, 2 plus 1 becomes 3, right? 2 plus 1 becomes 3, and that is the last position, right? See, tree of I position plus height means 3 basically, and count we will increase, right? So 2 plus 1 it becomes 3, so height will become, like last position will become 3 here, correct? So like that, right? And if this is not possible, let's say if when we are checking it, this condition, when the current tree position plus height, if it is not less than the position of the next tree, what it means to say is after falling it on the right side, if it is touching this point 5 where next tree is present, if that is the condition, right? When will it happen? Let's say for example if the 2 has a height, let's say 8, let's say its height is 8, right? Now if we are falling it on the right side, it will become 2 plus 8, which is 10, right? So it will touch 5, right? When it is going to 10, it will touch 5, right? So we cannot fall it on the right side. If we cannot fall it on the right side, the one thing we have to do is we have to update the last position to the tree position, right? Because now even if we cannot fall it on the right side, but still our last position will change now, right? Means last position will be updated to this current tree position, correct? And then we will move on to the next tree, because now the last position will be this position, right? Because there is always already a tree present at this position. So this is the logic that we are going to use to solve this problem, right? So we will go all the way until end, and we will keep counting our number of trees that we can fall using this logic, and that is the maximum number of trees. And why it is why this logic works, because we have sorted these tree pairs, right? So they are in ascending orders. These tree pairs are sorted, so it will give us the maximum number of trees we can fall. So let's go ahead and so I already explained you, I think, all these scenarios. So After that, at the end, we are just going to print the count, right? Number of trees we can fall. So let's go ahead and execute this code snippet quickly. So this is only for your reference. I just wanted to show you how it look like after sorting. As you can see, position 1, 2, 5, 10 and 19. So it is sorted based on the positions, right? This is what is very important. And 3 is the number of trees we can fall. So as let's go back here. So 3 is the number of trees we can fall, right? So this example we have looked at it. Now let's take a look at the second example, this one, right? And make sure that our logic works for this example as well. So I am going to quickly implement like this another example. So we'll just make sure that our both examples work, right? So let me just quickly modify this with second example inputs. So so just bear with me for a moment. It's always better to try with all the test cases that they have given us to make sure that our logic works for all the test cases. And this comma we have to put in middle, right? Because this is a two-dimensional array input that we are using here. So this is the input we created. Let's go ahead and let's execute this example as well and make sure it works. So now as you can see, we are getting 4, which is the correct answer. 4 is the correct answer for the second example as well. So let's just do a quick recap of how we solved this problem, woodcutters on the Codeforces. So we actually converted the input that is given to us into tree pairs, and we just sorted the tree pairs array based on the positions, right? Based on the positions. After that, we just went through one by one from tree pair, and we use this logic of calculating, right? If we can fall this on the left side, or we can, if not on the left side, we will try to fall it on the right side. And if both are not working, then we have to go to the next one, right? If we can fall it, then we will just increment the count, and we use the last position to track, what is the last position maximum that we have visited, right, in the cutting of the trees. So this is how we can solve the Codeforces problem, woodcutters. If you are new to my channel, you will find a Codeforces playlist on my channel that has a lot of solved Codeforces problem explained with examples and Java code. Also, there is a big playlist on my channel called as LeetCode and LeanCode Solutions. It has over 200 solved different varieties of coding problems which are taken from previously asked coding interview questions by Google, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Yahoo, Microsoft, and many other big tech companies. And those constitute very important varieties such as BFS, DFS matrix problems, graph problems, binary search tree problems, binary search related coding interview questions, dynamic programming problems, linked list and string related coding interview questions, as well as optimization problems that can be solved using priority queues are also explained with whiteboarding sessions, Java code examples. So if you are preparing for any Java interview or coding interview, this can definitely help you in your interview preparation. If you find this video helpful, if you like it, if you like the way it's been created by using whiteboarding session, examples and Java code, then please give it a like. Also subscribe to the channel, because your subscription to the channel is really important for the channel, because that is the way the videos can reach to more people who need help in solving coding problems. Main goal of the channel is to help as many people as possible in solving coding problems and in their Java J2 interview preparation. They can also see these solved coding problems videos and understand how to approach different varieties of coding problems and what data structures to use, what kind of sorting to be used, how to use the sorting or any other methodologies like BFS, DFS, graph problems. They can also get helped by looking at these videos. So if you like it, please give it a like. Also, if you have any question, put your questions below the description section, and share this video with your friends and colleagues. And thanks for watching this video.